Hey, James. As a show of hands, among all you Jameses, I know there's a lot of you, who like sleep? Oh, what's that? All of you? All of you like sleep. Oh, well, I guess I'm dumb. I don't like sleep, personally speaking. And a lot of people like, how do you not like sleep? It's like, it's just resting. I don't like it. I don't know. I don't like the feeling. It's a different feeling to be asleep, and I'm just not a big fan of it. I don't like having to have my eyes closed. Personally, I prefer my eyes open at all times. And maybe that's me paranoid, maybe that's some mental issue I have. I get scared when my eyes are closed for too long. So if I don't fall asleep within like half a minute, I get scared. I'm just like, I need to open my eyes again. That's what'll usually happen is I'll watch a video or I'll just play games until I'm so tired that as soon as I crawl into bed, I just pass out. The problem with that is that I'll usually end up sleeping until and I'll usually end up doing stuff until like 2, 3 in the morning. And then once I finally do go to sleep, I end up with like 4 hours of sleep. And I don't know if you know this, 4 hours of sleep is not a lot. I wouldn't recommend getting 4 hours of sleep. It just leaves me very tired throughout the day. And I'm just like, uh, I should have slept more. I don't like sleep, but I gotta do it. I honestly should be sleeping more often because I don't sleep very much. I sleep for, like I said, 4, 5. Most is usually 6 hours. If I'm lucky, I'll get 6 hours. Another reason I don't like sleep is I always wake up shitty. I can't wake up well. And I was just saying, oh, that's because you don't sleep enough. You just said you only get 4 or 5 hours. If you slept more, then you could sleep more and you won't be as tired in the morning. Shut your mouth. I used to sleep a lot. Back in middle school, I would go to sleep around 9, 10, or 11 and get between 8 and 6 hours. 6 was the minimum back then. And even then, I would wake up shitty. Another thing I don't like, eye crusties. They're the worst. And you wake up in the morning, you just wipe them off your face. I don't want to do that. It makes my eyes watery. It is the most annoying thing in the world. And sometimes they don't form immediately. Like a lot of people, as soon as they wake up, you just wipe them off and they're gone. But for me, sometimes I wake up, wipe them, and then by the time I go where I need to go, someone's like, you got your eye crusties. I'm like, fudge. Now I look ridiculous. Now I look like I didn't take care of myself this morning. Like I didn't clean my face this morning because I still have eye crusties. Sandman. But he's supposed to bring dreams. But I get eye crusties even if it's a nightmare. Even if I don't have a dream, I'll still have eye crusties. So dumb. It's so annoying. If the human body didn't have to run off sleep, I can bet you I would never sleep. Ever. I would just be up all the time. Or if you could add on sleep. Like if sleep was something that built up. Like say you needed 8 hours of sleep a day, but this time you got 12 hours of sleep. So now you only need 4 hours of sleep tomorrow. That would be so much better. Because then I could just spend like a Sunday or a Saturday sleeping all day. Like 24 hours of sleep. That is, let's see, 8, and take 24 from that. That's 3 days worth of sleep. I could stay up for 3 days and get 3 days worth of stuff done. Now I wish I had that power. If I were to have a superpower, a mundane superpower, just a practical one, not like super speed, fudging, super strength, flying, stuff like that. Well, I guess flying would be practical too. I would want the ability to rack up my sleep. The longer that I sleep, the less I need to sleep. I want to know if anyone else agrees with me. Because sleeping, in my eyes, is the most tedious thing that goes on throughout a human life. Like, there are so many things that people have to go through, like, diseases, the common cold is really, these things are really annoying, but nothing is as unproductive and forced thing that humans have to go through. The common cold, it's really hard, but technically speaking, you could avoid the common cold. If you just, you know, if you don't really leave your house, you constantly are making sure everything's good. You have a gas mask on to make sure only clean air is going into your lungs. You don't generally touch things and then put them on your face. Use hand sanitizer pretty often, and you wash your hands every chance that you get. You can avoid the common cold for maybe your entire life. Granted, that'll be a pretty boring, very annoying, very tedious life, but you could do it. But with sleeping, it's something you can avoid. Everyone has to do it eventually. Everyone has to sleep. I think it's like every 3 days. Like, if you don't go to sleep for 3 days, you go insane. Something like that. I'm not super good with memory. But it's so dumb. I wish I didn't have to do it. Also, the productivity factor. Say I had never the need to go to sleep. Instead of wasting 8 out of the 24 hours that I'm awake, giving me only 16 hours to do stuff, and let's say you have school. Let's say you go to school. School is, I think, another 8 hours. It might be 7 hours. Let's say 7. Just for brevity's sake, let's say 7. Alright, you have 9 hours to do stuff. But you have after school stuff. That takes up let's say from 2 to 5, maybe it's a sport. Let's say from 2 to 5, that's an extra 3 hours. Take 3 hours from 9, you have 6 hours to get stuff done. 6 hours? Oh, and then your morning routine and nightly routine, because you gotta have both. Let's say if you add in both your morning and nightly routine, let's say that takes up about a half hour, another half hour for dinner. That's 5 hours. You get 5 hours of productivity throughout the day. So if you want to do anything creative, maybe you want to do art, something like that, you have 5 hours to do that. And you might be saying, you can do art during lunch or study hall, something like that. Not everyone has study hall. You're completely out of luck at that point. But if you get that extra 8 hours that you're wasting sleeping to actually do something, and another thing, don't give me that BS. They're like, you just said that you stay up pretty late. You can't really get productive in that time because your brain isn't functioning at 100%. Your brain wants to be sleeping right now. Your brain needs the sleep. So your movements are slightly more sluggish. It's a little bit harder for you to think about things. It just generally makes it more difficult to be productive the longer you stay awake. But if you didn't need to sleep at all, then that wouldn't be a problem. Throughout the day, you've only spent 5 hours doing what you want to do. You might think 5 hours is plenty. 5 hours is a lot of time. But think about how much more time if instead of 5 hours you had 13. 13 hours that's a lot of fudging time to actually do something. Say you're one of those people that are procrastinators. And so you just love putting things off. By the time you get through most of those 13 hours, you'll probably run out of stuff to occupy your time with. If you usually watch Netflix for a couple hours because you're a procrastinator, well, you're probably going to end up finishing your show in a few days. 13 hours, let's say your show is an hour long each episode. With 13 hours, you can probably get through an entire season, maybe 2 seasons, in a day. Just one day. I just think it's a whole lot better. People are like, oh, what about the dreams? Dreams are so cool. I can fly. I can fly in my dream. I flew. Not everyone can say they can fly, but me in my dream, I can fly. That's cool. Neat. Awesome. Cool. They might be like, oh, what about wet dreams? Neat. Cool, I guess. Get a girlfriend. Don't be a loser. Get a girlfriend. You and your girlfriend can go through so many scenarios that you've had in your dreams that I know you wanted to do with somebody, but you haven't because you haven't been getting out there and exercising, eating healthy, doing all these things to help yourself so that you can get that girlfriend. And then you and that girlfriend can spend those 13 hours having some fun. But I hope you guys can see where I'm coming from. That sleep is so tedious. It's so annoying. It feels like a hassle. And that I wish I could just surpass it. You know how much closer we probably would be to solving a lot of the questions of the universe if we didn't have to sleep? Think about how many hours the human race as a whole has wasted with sleep. We've been around, alright, let's just say the time that we've been sciencing. 500 years? Let's lowball it and say 500 years. In 500 years, about 360 days per year, you're wasting about 8 hours per day. Take 360, you times that by 8. I don't have a calculator on me. But if you take 360, let's just down that to 300. Let's make it even less time to try to, just for me to show you how much time we really truly wasted. That's a year and some change. Now you might be saying, oh, a year and some change is not that much time. It's probably at least 2 years. And obviously I'm bad with math. Someone is probably gonna come into the comments and correct my math and be like, you're fudging stupid. It's actually more like 20, 30 years we spent sleeping. But that just proves my point. That just proves my point even further, that we could be so much further. If it's 30 years, 30 years is like how long Nintendo's been in business. We could be so much further. We might have flying cars at this point. We might have solved the climate crisis by now. But we decided to sleep instead. Freaking evolution. Alright guys, I'm sorry for ranting at you for so long. It's almost a 20-minute video, and I haven't uploaded in a while, so I needed to vent, and right as I got done setting myself, I'm just like, I should make a video about sleeping, and how sleeping is dumb and unproductive. Thank you for listening to my tirade, pretty much. I'll see you later.